So, Ja Morant and all the stuff that has been going on has me feeling uh, weirdly. And yeah, it's not about me, obviously, but since I have the YouTube channel, and the reason I have it is so I can speak about things that bother me, that make me intrigued about sports, I decided to just make this video about it. So, if you didn't know and don't follow the news like I do, Ja Morant has been suspended and is not gonna play for the Grizzlies until further notice. He is out indefinitely. He was suspended for 2 games, and the coach Taylor Jenkins said he is gonna be out indefinitely. So we don't know how long he's actually gonna be out. But what we do know is what happened, right? First, it started with some weird tweets in the off season where he said it's free to see how the Hollows feel, which of course means what you think it means, that he's not gonna ever change, that he's about that life, which I mean, I understand not wanting to change who you are because obviously it's hard to change, but change is necessary. And it really rubbed me the wrong way, right? But I felt like there had to be something going on with him, but we don't actually know what's going on with him. Then it was about month ago, I would say, where the report came out that he flashed a gun, and him and his friends were seen flashing red lights at a Pacers team staff that just came out of nowhere, absolutely. And then the report came out that they felt like they were in grave danger. Ja obviously denied it on Twitter, that they reported it, and everything went okay, right? And that this is a no story. Then a few days later, after that, there came a story about Ja punching a 17-year-old kid, which now 4 days ago, when all this went down, about 4 days ago, he was accused of punching the 17-year-old kid 12 to 13 times and flashing a gun at him during a pickup basketball game last summer. So that was another one, right? And it felt like, what the hell is he doing, right? Why are you doing this when you don't really, have to be about that life anymore, and you are in the NBA? And then I saw some reports saying that the 17-year-old kid threatened to do something to Ja's family, which would make sense for him to react in this way, right? I'm not condoning what he's done, that he beat up the kid, but you would at least understand from his perspective why he did it, right? And with all this drama going on, they played in Denver, they lost to Denver, and then he went on IG Live at like 3 a.m. in Denver at the club and flashed a small, tiny gun, right? And somebody said it was a lighter, somebody said this, somebody said this. We actually don't know. What we do know is that the police is investigating this. This came out a few minutes ago from TMZ Sports, and they are investigating everything about this, that he had this gun at the club. Some people have said, that in the NBA bylaws, if you have a gun on you and, with the team and at the team plane, you could be suspended 50 games for that. We don't know, obviously. We don't know anything about it. This is just pure speculation, but it's that type of serious stuff, right? And Ja obviously has to be probably dealing with something. We don't know. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to put anything on him, right? But something has to be going on with him a little bit. His team, or him, or he put out a tweet saying that he's gonna take time to step away from the team, to focus on his health, and to focus on dealing with, stress in more healthier and better ways, which obviously would make sense. Everyone responds to depression, to anxiety, to stress in a lot of different ways. DeMar DeRozan is one example that obviously responded completely differently than Ja. And if Ja is dealing with some depression, some anxiety, and is dealing with drinking and, being trying to be about that life, or I don't know how to call it, man. It feels weird to call it like that when I'm just a random ass dude from Czech Republic, but it's about that life, I suppose. And of course, there is just no point in speculating about it, right? But it's so sad to see a 23-year-old superstar that's signed so many big contracts, is gonna be a $200 million player, right? Signs a deal with Nike, and to see him kinda go this downward spiral, which, I mean, can happen. And I saw a clip of him talking about 2 years ago after the bubble, talking about, sometimes I look after, my friends too much, and I need to take, care and look after me. So it would make a lot of sense if he was dealing with a lot of that, and why he's still associated with the guys, the friends that he feels like he's responsible for when they are making bad decisions, when they are making decisions about that life, and he simply probably shouldn't be at this point, right? You can be, obviously, you can be about that life in some way, but you're a public figure, you're somebody who made it out the things you want to make it out of, and he kind of just wants to make it back to it, right? And it when you just look at it from pure vision standpoint, I don't know how to word it out, but when you just look at it without any context, it feels like he's being a dumbass, right? But there has to be something more going on. Well, unless that isn't, then he is just a dumbass. But I refuse to believe that, because Ja always felt like, when you saw him coming into the league, he felt like a really confident, cocky dude, but he felt like he was, smart and humble enough. Then it all just went to some weird places. And it's making me feel really not uncomfortable. It's making me feel really sad, right? We all deal with our issues. We all deal with anxiety, depression, in a lot of different ways. For me, dealing with anxiety is making these videos and just talking about stuff I want to talk about on the internet, right? Just like that, it makes my anxiety be a lot better. But not a lot of people can easily do that. I have the ability to do this, thankfully, but not a lot of people do, and I still struggle a lot with anxiety, right? But this mental health stuff is so serious, and it's making me, I laugh at all these jokes also, but it's also making me a lot of really sad, right? It's always this two sides of the coin. It's making me laugh sometimes, but from time to time, it also makes me really mad and sad that, when Ben Simmons, for example, was saying he dealt with a lot of mental health issues, I took him seriously, but a lot of people didn't, right? And a lot of people said he's faking, but I mean, all of us could be faking then, right? All of us could be faking that we deal with shit. And it's just so sad to see. But at the same time, that's what life is, right? You gotta learn. And I feel like Ja, thankfully, nobody got something. I mean, nothing totally drastic happened. He beat up a kid, which is a really big issue, but at least he didn't, do the worst thing, right? And nobody did the worst thing, hopefully. So hopefully he can learn from it. Hopefully he actually gets some help if he really needs it, as he says in his tweet that he needs to, just get some help, which is totally okay and something we all should do and be able to say, right? If you need help, don't be afraid to ask about it. I struggle with it, right? I struggle with saying, hey, I need help from time to time. But it's okay to get help, man. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be. It's okay to just be, even though if you're mentally not stable, even though if you're having struggles, it's okay to just be. It's okay to be even with all those things. And don't ever forget that. Well, this got emotional. If anyone listens to this fully, I appreciate you and hope you get all the good things in life and hope you appreciate every moment. Thank you for listening. Hope Ja figures stuff out and we can see him be the great basketball player that he is on the court soon.